Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Friday Night Smackdown. I, Tony Schiavone, Michael Cole, and Corey Graves here. And today on Friday Night Smackdown, we're going to hear from we're going to have the four-sitter, the four-sitter, and we're going to have the four-sitter, Hunter Hearst Helmsley here today. Tony Schiavone says. We haven't seen him in some time, Michael Cole says. The one who handles the day-to-day runnings of the toy wrestling gathering, at least since 2009, since 29 between YL or so. Michael Cole says. You got that right, Corey Graves said, and I wonder what the four-sitter and head leadership follower of the toy wrestling gathering, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, or Triple H, is going to say. I want to welcome everyone to Friday Night Smackdown. The toy wrestling gathering has been around for 30 years. 30 long years ago, the toy wrestling gathering started between 93 YL with a handful of Hasbro WWF toys at the time. 2 rings, a Hasbro WrestleMania ring and a Hasbro King of the Ring ring. Since then, we shifted over from sundry WWF WWE rings, WCW rings, and now some WWE rings. And in that time, it was on spoken film, sight film, then it was on disc, and finally getting on Euro, which was more of a hit and miss of doing it. So today, I'm here to tell you that the toy wrestling gathering will be around for sundriest years to come. Now I know there are sundriest other skilled toy wrestling businesses out there, some of them that are younger than us, some of them who've got more watch time and looking at us, some of them who just happen to be, some of them are also Euro mates. Oh well, that cannot be helped. We are not fighting other toy wrestling businesses. But I'm here to tell you, we will strive. Well, no, that's a French borrowed word. We will work to uphold our standards, our goals that we have set. So, as of right now, that's truly all I have to say. And oh, is that what you have to say? Austin Theory goes. You're not going to talk about me, right? You hired me earlier this year. Yeah, you're the one that gave the alright for Gil Kim to bring me in. And I'm the man who put the toy wrestling gathering. I'm the one who's shifting the toy wrestling gathering. We got to say fuck the past. Who gives a shit about the toy wrestling gathering 30 years? Starting on film, on spoken film, then going to sight film, and then going to disc. And then from disc, finally putting ourselves in U-Ray. We talk about the upcoming. And the upcoming is me, Austin Theory. Well, Austin Theory, you seem to be highly believe in yourself. You have this belief that you're the upcoming and that everything that happened before you means nothing. And you're right, Austin Theory. I was the one who did give Gil Kim the right to bring you into the toy wrestling gathering earlier this year. When we went to Walmart one year. Yes. But I'm here to tell you something, Austin Theory. You're not the only TWF fighter, wrestler, overstar, whatever you want to call someone who whatever. You're not the only one out there who's done it. Many hard-working men and women, dolls, whatever, worked hard to make the toy wrestling gathering be around for 30 years. It wasn't only you, Austin Theory. But then again, Austin Theory, you're 30 years ago, we had a lot of folks who thought they were the heel, who thought they were the shit. I mean, we had Aries believing what you believed. We had Lord Zed believing that for some time. And that you believed. And at one time, I was dumb enough to believe that everything went around me. But let me tell you something, Austin Theory. Since you came out here, and I did know last week you started something with Trini Kwan, the first mighty shifting yellow keeper. And I think that it would only be good enough if Trini Kwan ended up wrestling you again. I beat Trini Kwan. She got herself killed in 2002 and 2022 while helping Billy Carson out. So at the end of the day, she's dead. And we shouldn't have wrestlers or fighter dolls that were crafted in a likeness of fighters, wrestlers, show players, songsters, songstresses be in a toy wrestling gathering. Shut up, Austin Theory. Forgive me, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, but I'm not dead. I don't know why so many folks have this belief that, oh, I died in 2022 YL and Mighty Shifting Mic Keepers once and forever. Yeah, I may have died on that show, but I'll be alive in the drawing books, in the film games. Hell, I'll even be alive in that, that spin-off that David Wells, the show player who played Billy Carson back in the day, who played him again, he'd get that going. And guess what? The new Mic Keeper, new take, might have me in it. So, you need to learn some onlook and class, Austin Theory. And like I told you last week, when we first had our match, you're a bully. But like all bullies, either they be Frankus Bockweiler, Eugene Skolovich, Cordelia Chase, Biff, or Hoxamono, they're all bullying someone because there's something about themselves they don't like. And some of them never learn. At least Farkas Bockweiler and Eugene Skolovich learned not to be bullies anymore. Cordelia Chase learned not to be bullies anymore. Sadly, Biff never learned that, and sadly, Hoxamono never did. Alright, Hunter Helmsley says. It's going to be Trini Kwan, the first mighty shifting yellow keeper, taking on Austin Theory here today on Friday Night Smackdown. We get a fight lord in the ring now. How is that fair? How is how is that fair? How is that fair when now Austin Theory has to fight Trini Kwan again? So tell me, how is that fair? Corey Graves says, and that's not even the up-to-date offshoot of Trini Kwan. That's the old Bandai Trini Kwan Mighty Shifting Yellow Keeper doll. Well, so far, Tony Schiavone said life is not fair, and we didn't get the Hasbro one. One day we will, but as of right now, that is the only Trini Kwan we have, and we got some other ones. Trini Kwan, opening an overkick, hoping to teach Austin Theory some class and some onlook, Tony Schiavone said, and an overkick, some kind of a spin kick we also call it, in the skilled wrestling business. That's right, Michael Cole says. Austin Theory is a young pup. You know, he's a newcomer. I'm not going to take away that he has done some cool things. Yes, he was a former two-time WWE 4-1 Rights fighter and a former TWF light heavyweight fighter and Gal in the Box winner. But he needs to learn some on-look and some class. He's outside the ring now, Michael Cole says. Tony, Michael, why does Austin Theory need to learn on-look? He needs to learn class. You know, he's a man who went from NXT to Raw, to NXT to Raw, to Smackdown, and he's a cool man. He goes downtown, he goes all day, all night. He don't need to learn any on-look. Corey Graves said, oh, and Trini Kwan taking down Austin Theory. Tony Schiavone said, who would have thought that the first mighty shifting Yellow Keeper would take down Austin Theory? Tony Schiavone says. Well, Michael Cole said, we know that Trini Kwan is the only Far Eastern folk to ever be the mighty shifting Yellow Keeper, because it would seem to be very wrong to cast someone like that. But Trini Kwan had no say in that. Oh! Trini Kwan, oh! No say in it, Michael Cole says. And we talk about Austin Theory got the upper hand on Trini Kwan now, Michael Cole says. Oh yeah, Corey Graves said, who are we going to guilt it on? God, because he was the one that chose them to be the mighty shifting might keepers. Zordon Axe to get, give him, betweeners with Stand, and God chose them. Corey Graves said, so who are you going to guilt? Zordon or God for it, or both of them? Corey Graves said, Austin Theory gonna make her yield. Corey Graves says, well, we're not talking about the casting and how Trini Kwan became the first mighty shifting Yellow Keeper. We all know that she gave her might on to Alicia Campbell, who would then pass it on to Tanya Salone, who would then pass it on to Ashley Hellman. Well, that is true. Trini Kwan is in a bind right now, Tony Schiavone says, and she knows a fighting craft. I don't know if that fighting craft can help her in a wrestling match. Tony Schiavone said, a body slam by Austin Theory, more like a suplex. Well, that's kind of true, Michael Cole says. A skilled fighter and a skilled wrestler are two unlike fighters. But I think at the end of the day, Trini Kwan has to do whatever she can do, wrestling skills, fighting skills, whatever she can do to get the upper hand on Austin Theory, Michael Cole says. Tony Schiavone says he's going to give her the downtown now. Tony Schiavone said, yeah, this is it, Trini Kwan. Bye-bye. Corey Graves said, hey, Trini Kwan got out of the way. Trini Kwan taking down Austin Theory. The elbow drop like Randy Savage did. It's over. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner. Mighty shifting Yellow Keeper, Trini Kwan. And Trini Kwan has beat Austin Theory here today on Friday Night Smackdown. And we know Austin Theory is going to probably bitch and rant about the unfairness of losing that match here today, Tony Schiavone says. Well, if Austin Theory is bitching and ranting, he has that right, Michael Cole says. But that was not going to shift that he lost to Trini Kwan here today on Friday Night Smackdown. I don't know how that happened, Corey Graves said. How did the first mighty shifting Yellow Keeper, Trini Kwan, beat Austin Theory? I don't know how that happened. I think there may have been a fast reckoning. I don't know. But something doesn't seem to be lawful. Corey Graves says, I think Trini Kwan, got lucky. She won that match by the skin of her teeth. Corey Graves says, that's what I believe. Anyway, we know that right now Joey Styles now is going to be talking with with Trini Kwan. Alright, thank you Tony Schiavone and Michael Cole. I'm going to be talking to Trini Kwan here today on Friday Night Smackdown. Alright, what the fuck you... Alright, Trini Kwan, we just saw you. You beat Austin Theory, and hopefully you can put that behind you. Well, I hope so, Joey Styles. I truly hope that I can put this whole Austin Theory thing behind me. You know, when I came to the Toy Wrestling Gathering in 2010 YL, I never really wanted to be a wrestler or a fighter. Yes, I knew some kind of fighting craft, but I never really truly wanted to be a wrestler or a fighter. I was pulled into it in 23rd between YL, or at least 24 between YL, when the Shield beat me and Randy Savage up. But I have mostly kept away from wrestling ever since that day. But Austin Theory pulled me into wrestling. He pulled me into fighting. Well, we all do know, Trini Kwan, that you are a skilled fighter. We've seen you do a lot of things to a lot of foes on the Mighty Shifting Mic Keepers from 9 between 93 YL till 9 between 94 YL when you gave up your might over to Alicia Campbell. Well, it was more of Zordon, more of God's call, you know, and Zordon just had to uphold the choosing that God did. But as you know, I went on to be the Overkeeper, the yellow one, later on the red one. And yes, I did fight a lot of foes during that time. At that time, I hope that me getting my win over Austin Theory here today has put an end to that saga. I truly hope so. Well, that's my talk with Trini Kwan. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Michael Cole. Well, thank you, Joey Styles, for talking with Trini Kwan here today on Friday Night Smackdown. Austin Theory's back again. Bullshit, Austin Theory says. How could I lose to the first Mighty Morphin Yellow Keeper Trini Kwan? That's bullshit. How could I lose to her? She had known some kind of fighting craft. She thinks she's so cool, but she's not. Well, Austin Theory, bitching and ranting as always, right? Let me tell you what we're gonna do. So, Austin Theory, you're always bitching and ranting. You shit. Stand up, stand up. You think that you're the greatest skilled wrestler or skilled fighter out there, or whatever you think, Overstar. And you're bitching and ranting about losing to Trini Kwan. Get over it. You lost to Trini Kwan. I won another match with Trini Kwan. I know that if I have another match with Trini Kwan, I'd beat her. Well, alright, Astronomer says. I'll give you that match, Austin Theory, but you're gonna lose like you did today. And don't forget, like you lost today, Astronomer says. I'll tell you one thing, Ecliptor says. Austin Theory, stop the bitching, stop the ranting, stop the being a sob baby. If you're truly the greatest wrestler, fighter, Overstar in the yesteryear of skilled wrestling, then you will learn that deeds speak louder than words. If you're truly the greatest, then show it when you're in another match. Because bitching and ranting and sobbing is not going to cut it. Ecliptor says. You understand that, Astronomer says. Get some onlook, get some class, put in the time, stop bitching, and stop ranting. You lose, that's the end of it, Astronomer says. Well, Austin Theory had enough. He fell backwards. And it looks like it is all the time we've got here for TWF Friday Night Smackdown. you know. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand the fuck up. Come on. Now she won't stand up anymore. Oh, so it gotta be crooked. Why can't it be straight? Stand up. Pisses me off. Alright. That's all the time we got here for Friday Night Smackdown. Ow! That's all the time we got here for Friday Night Smackdown. I, Tony Schiavone, Michael Cole, Corey Graves. If you like Friday Night Smackdown, we hope you like Friday Night Smackdown. And we'll see you tomorrow for Rampage or Ram Proof.